Hello everyone, it was just an ordinary day at the Wilson family farm in the South African countryside. Old MacDonald was driving his tractor to plow the field when he hit something hard. He stopped the tractor and got out to inspect the damage. What he found wasn't a rock or a hidden pot of gold, but something much more valuable, a gold mine. Old MacDonald was born and raised in the small town of Hillbrow and had farmed all his life. Everyone knew him as a hard-working man who never took a day off, but lately, business had been bad. The crops weren't growing well, and the animals weren't producing enough milk or meat. It was getting harder and harder to make ends meet. The people of Hillbrow were overjoyed. For years, they'd watched old MacDonald work his farm, always struggling to make ends meet. And now he was giving them all a chance at a better life. One day, old MacDonald decided to take a break from farming and go into town to visit his friend, the blacksmith. He'd heard rumors of a gold mine in the area and had sent his men to find it. When they came back empty-handed, he'd punished them severely. He continued to explore his farm, always looking for new ways to improve it. He knew that no matter how much money he had, he couldn't buy happiness. But he also knew that he had something even better, the satisfaction of a job well done. He demanded to know where the gold mine was, but old MacDonald just laughed in his face. He wasn't afraid of the crime boss or his goons. He knew he'd found the gold fairly, and he had no intention of giving up his fortune. Now he was getting close to finding out who had beaten him to the punch. Old MacDonald had found the gold, and it was his. The crime boss stormed off, vowing to get his revenge one day. But for now, he had to accept that he'd lost. Was this a once-in-a-lifetime lucky break, or was there more where that came from? He lavished gifts on his friends and family, and even donated money to the local church. He was the richest man in town, and everyone loved him. He decided to follow his gut and see if there was a bigger vein nearby, and sure enough, there was. Maybe the old man could fix his plow, or maybe just having someone to talk to would lift his spirits. As he drove his tractor down the dusty road, he started to feel a little better. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and for a moment he forgot about his troubles. He knew right then that he had struck it rich. Over the next few days, old MacDonald worked tirelessly to uncover more of the gold. He didn't care about the cuts or scrapes or even the searing heat of the South African sun. He was too busy counting his money. That's when he hit it. At first, he thought it was a rock, but when he got out of the tractor to inspect the damage, he saw that it was something much more valuable. There, sticking out of the ground like a yellow tooth, was a solid piece of gold. He picked it up and looked at it in his hands. It was the biggest piece of gold he'd ever seen. Old MacDonald didn't know what to do. He'd never found gold before. It took some time, but eventually old MacDonald found a spot where the gold was almost pure and over a foot thick. He sold the gold to the highest bidder, and soon had enough money to buy a brand new tractor, a big house in town, and even enough to share with his friends and family. But not everyone was so happy. Far away in a big city, a powerful crime boss was fuming. Meanwhile, old MacDonald was enjoying his newfound wealth. He bought a huge farmhouse and filled it with all the luxuries he'd ever dreamed of. The crime boss finally tracked old MacDonald down and confronted him. The crime boss was furious, but there was nothing he could do. As the years passed, old MacDonald grew older, but he never lost his sense of adventure.